My name is Kathleen Bradley, and 18 years sobriety, and I'm here to share my story.
Thank you, Kathleen, for
bet.
being here.
You're
I'm
welcome.
so
My pleasure.
excited to talk with you and just get to know more of your story. I know a little bit, but I really look forward to getting to hear more. So would you start off by just sharing with us a little bit of your upbringing, a little bit of your childhood?
Okay, I was born and raised in Portland, so I've been here my whole life. When, I grew up in a family that I thought was pretty normal. And my mom went to church every Sunday. I was Lutheran, and so we did all of that, and was confirmed and all of it. So I realize now that I really didn't have a relationship with the Lord back then, but I knew all the things to say. And so that was the difference. And what I do know about my past and when I was a child and an adult is we were all afraid of my dad. That was the one thing, is don't make Dad mad. And so I learned to shut down, shut my feelings, don't talk about it. They grew up in the Depression, so it was very stoic. And so what, again, I learned is don't feel, don't talk. And that is what really got me. I went, high school, graduated high school. I have a twin sister, Colleen, so we were always together, rally, the whole bit. And then I got married very young. I got married at 18, right out of high school. And looking back on it, I realized I did that to get out of the house, to be honest. And he was my high school sweetheart. We were married for 7 years. During that time, it was pretty mentally abusive for me, but it wasn't as bad as my dad, so I thought it was okay. After 7 years, we have two beautiful daughters. After 7 years, one night, he was very, very drunk, and he was physical with me. And at that time, I said, we are done, because I could tell that he hurt me physically when emotionally is more difficult. And so I decided to get a divorce at that time. It was hard, but I was grateful to do that.
Yeah. And so then, how did your life continue after that divorce? How old were you, and what happened next in your life?
I was about 26 or 27 when I got divorced. My twin sister got divorced too, isn't that crazy? So she moved in with me, and we started to party for a couple years, and it was alcohol, and we would go out quite a bit and party, and all of a sudden, at the age of 30, it turned on me, the alcohol. I was so shocked. I had to start drinking around the clock, and I didn't know what was going on. And so at the age of 30, my twin sister and my mom said, you need help. And I said, I know I do. So I went to a treatment center, 30-day treatment center, and got out, had quite several years of sobriety, about 15 then. And what I realized, though, is when I got out, I did other things to replace the alcohol. I became a workaholic. I went to college, which was great. I graduated college, and I was codependent with my mom. I moved in with my mom, took care of her. So at that time, for probably 5 years, I was really isolated. I didn't go to recovery meetings. I didn't reach out, because really relationship is the number one key for recovery.
Absolutely.
And so I was isolated, and I think intentionally, subconsciously, I did it because I wanted to be alone. Just leave me alone, because I was an isolator. And so when I did relapse after those several years, I went extreme. And that lasted 2 or 3 years.
Okay, so you had 15 years and then had a relapse during the time you were caring for your mom. And then what happened after?
Then, well, she passed away.
Okay.
And so I got together with this man who was a very bad boy. I was working in the jail system, and I was a counselor, and he was incarcerated. So I made a lot of bad mistakes, and when he got out, I was there for him. And within 3 years, I did things I thought I would never do. And he did pills and everything, and I realized I had to drink to stay in the relationship. What happened is when everything came crashing down is he died from a methadone overdose. So I was by myself, and I was drunk for 1 year and it was really scary. It was really scary because I thought I was going to die, especially with the detox.
Yeah, I mean, that is, it's interesting in the sense of your addiction really came later. You had kind of a childhood, an early marriage, which so many things come with that as well. And then your addiction came at a later age, which I think sometimes when we think about addiction, we assume that everyone's addiction starts young. But your story tells us that that isn't the story all the time for everyone.
And you know what's interesting is, I'm a recovery counselor now. And so working in the field, I worked in detox also. And I realized that the addiction waits for you, especially the alcoholism. So again, I had all these years sobriety. And when I relapsed, it came crashing down. And that was so interesting that I really experienced that.
Yeah, there's scripture that talks about that, coming back, in that way. And you said something interesting too, that you found yourself, even though in that time of being sober, that you plugged in other ways, that your addiction almost came out in other ways as far as codependency or workaholic or and I see that in the work that I do too, having to remind men and women as well as myself that we really have to hold our sobriety and our open, right, to every aspect and every area of our life. Okay, so then what happened after?
After that, wow.
That your most recent
oh my goodness,
sobriety, and how long?
It got really scary. I eventually lost everything. I wrecked my car, went through all my money, had nothing, and I was so close from being on the street, But again, I was so isolated. And so I moved in with my daughter, bless her heart. I was just a precious woman with her husband and 2 kids. And I couldn't stop drinking. And I was so proud of her when she finally said, "Mom, you can't drink." And I thought, okay. So I looked at different places to go, and I found this it was so cool. I went to an AA meeting drunk, and a woman had a brochure, and she said, "I don't know why I have this, but I know it's for you. It's a God shot." So she gave me a brochure, and it was to Shepherd's Door. It was crazy. And I just thought, no, I don't really belong there. It was really crazy. No. I thought going to a treatment center, because that's what I knew, and that's where I'd worked. And they had denied me, so I really didn't have a choice. And so within a few days, I was in there, which was amazing. Scared, didn't know what to expect. And of all things, a chaplain was working there. She was a woman, when I was 30 years old, I went to treatment that did my assessment that said, "You're late stage chronic alcoholic." And so I went to outpatient drunk, and then I went inpatient. That was at age 30. And so here I am at age 50, and this woman came down. I will never forget it. She came and she remembered me because "Oh, you're the one that came drunk." And it's yeah. But she saw me. Wow. She saw me, and I felt so safe at that time. I was expecting her to say, "You screwed up. What happened?" But she saw me.
Isn't
that awesome?
So awesome. And
I know.
You said something that I love too. I carry those brochures in my car. because I feel like as we, drive down the street and want to be interactive with those that are on the street asking for help, and
Yes.
I've always shared with people, you might not always know what to do or what to say, but looking someone in the eye and smiling at them, maybe even rolling your window down and asking how their day is, is actually safer than some believe it to be. And I always give those brochures out, and I say all the time, one of these days, I'm going to see one of them in there.
And you will.
From that brochure. So you give me hope that it's worth handing those out.
Yeah,
so
it was so the Lord working in my life, because I really prayed, like, what do I do next? And the woman that gave me the brochure, 6 months later, she was hired as a staff person at Shepherd's Store.
Oh.
She saw me and wept, because I was a mess.
You cannot make
And
this stuff
I
up.
know it. It's like, and then we became friends after I graduated the program and all of that. It was just beautiful to see how God did it.
So how long ago was that?
That was when I was 50. So that was 18, almost 19 years ago. I have to keep adding. I'm 69 right now. And so, yeah, I was 50, and, I thought, what am I doing? I'm 50. What is wrong with me? I'm too old.
But your daughter played a part in saving your life.
Yes, thank goodness.
She took you in, but then she had a strong boundary that saved
And I
your life.
told her that too, because I was so proud of her to do that. That was really hard, but I was so proud of her. And, today our relationships with both of my daughters are just beautiful, And,
I love that.
And
what does your
owe it
life
all.
look like today? What are you doing today?
Oh my goodness. Today, I think the most important thing to say is the women that are stuck in addiction. There's so many women in the church and outside that are closet drinkers, that are hiding, they're isolated. And I want them to come out, because there's hope. There is hope. They can change. They can definitely change. I work with women that are 60, 65, and they can change.
That's part of my story. I was hiding it for a couple years because I was a Christian now, and my life was different, and I just wanted to be normal, and I wasn't doing drugs. Drinking is legal and normal, but I had a problem, and it was getting worse and worse by the week.
And it does. With women, it really affects them so much quicker, I believe. But today, my life is so different. Going through that 1 year program, I got to understand all these false beliefs that I believed, and that recovery is learning to trust again, and it's relationship, which is the hardest thing for women, especially in the program, to do, is having relationships. So I have been working for this organization for 17 years. Again, they hired me right away. They shouldn't have, but again, God had the plan, because I had been a drug and alcohol counselor. I might have left that out. At 30, I went and became a drug and alcohol counselor. So of course I lost that when I relapsed and all. And then God gave that. I got to have it back again. So now I'm still a certified drug and alcohol counselor, and I get to work with women daily to be able, number one, to listen to them, and hopefully listening to them, I understand where they've been. Like, I get it. And it's really about the pain underneath it all. I didn't know I was hurting so badly. At 18, I had had an abortion, which you don't really talk about. I did it because I was scared to death my dad was gonna kill me. And so I did that, but I didn't realize the havoc that it wreaked on me. And I got to go through a Bible study for that and get healing, get to give honor to my baby. And it was so, I didn't realize, the Lord said, the floodgates are gonna open and I'm gonna be with you. And he was. And that gave me such healing, along with all of the classes. I got to understand why I did what I did. And really my false beliefs were huge, that, don't talk about it. What I say doesn't matter. That was a big one for me, what I say. So what it did is it shut me out. Yeah.
Wow. First of all, thank you for sharing such an intimate part of your life.
Yeah.
And being so honest about, you've said so many things that are so powerful and impactful, just that you do have a voice, and your voice is important and it matters. And everything you've been through there's been good parts, right? And beautiful parts, your daughters, right? Those, there are parts you can look back and say, it wasn't all suffering, but
Absolutely.
but you have suffered, and you have been through some really hard things, and it's brought you to the point you are today. And I often say, you know, God doesn't want us to go through that, but he won't waste any of it.
He didn't.
And look at your life now.
Yeah.
You know, someone would come to you, and most anything they would bring up, you could say, I know how you feel, and I get it. Yeah. So if you were to look to the future, and you're getting to dream, obviously you're already doing it.
Yeah.
What is a dream that you have for the future for yourself? Because we know that you're only 35, and so you have many years left.
Right.
What is a dream you have?
Oh, my dream is really what I am living right now. I love where I work. I get to pray for women. I get to hear their story. I get to help them understand and unpack it. So there's, what I love best is their shame decreases. Their shame decreases. They're not bad people. And I always say that we're not bad people. We're wounded women. And wounded women wound others. So I love the restoration that I get to see in families over and over again. And I just, you know, I'm 69, people go, why aren't you retired? And I go, oh, I love what I do. I love what I do. And I just want to continue to do that, to give hope. To give hope.
Well, you've given all of us hope. I am just, I'm about, the floodgates are about to bust out for me. Kathleen, thank you so much for all the work that you do.
You're welcome.
Day in and day out. I know that everyone watching has already fallen in love with you, and going to be praying for you and your future and the work that God still has for you to do. Thank you.
Thank you.